Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel, and I apologize for that. But look, guys, I told you that I wasn't going to be doing the live, and at the time, I absolutely meant it. Was not at all feeling right. Gave myself a little rest, not a lot, but you know, you ever feel bad and you end up having a second wind? Well, not only did I have a second wind, I got up, went out in the garage, made a video for you guys that's going to drop tomorrow. I didn't know if I was going to show you these clips on the live or try to do an edit. I think the clips that I'm going to show you tomorrow on the video are more from eBay Open, where me in the audience, sitting back, watching eBay employees do their presentation at the workshop. And I did my very best to record the audio for that, but it didn't come out all that great. So to come on here on a live, like I was going to do earlier, play those clips and discuss what was said in those clips, wouldn't have come off that great, because these clips I think need a little editing for you to hear right. And I don't even know if they're going to come out, to be honest with you, on the videos tomorrow that I'm going to put out. But I was out in my garage going through my inventory, going through these clips, talking about, you know, the various things that have to do with your listings. And I guess we'll see, right? We'll see how that video comes out, but stay tuned for that. I'll drop that in the morning. So again, I apologize to all of you who were unaware we were going to do a live. And then I changed my mind, and Jenna is in there sleeping, so I guess I kind of had to do that in incognito mode, because she's the one that came in here and stopped me from setting up the live earlier, and I apologize for that. And this is not going to be the normal, usual live stream that we go over. We have a topic and all that. It's simply going to be an opportunity for me to say hi to you guys. Maybe 30-45 minutes, and then we'll get off of here. You know, I just feel an obligation to this channel, to this community, to try whenever I'm feeling up to it. And I wasn't 2 hours ago, but I am now feeling up to talking to you guys, right? I was out in the garage doing my thing. I need to take a break anyway. So here we are, just kind of hanging out with you guys, and hopefully you guys have some questions. What do you guys, any questions that you might have from eBay Open that I can answer? Is there anything that maybe you're thinking about, wondering, you know, about the event, or anything that may have been said at the event? Please let me know. I'll be glad to give you my best answer. I may not have the answer, but I'll do what I can to provide an answer. Or if you guys just have questions in general about maybe something you're dealing with reselling, or a question about reselling. I am in no way an expert, but I can tell you I've been through many scenarios in my eBay life that I probably can point you in the right direction to an answer if I can't answer the question. So hopefully you guys have some info. And again, if you guys were under the impression we weren't doing a live today, that's 100% on me. Again, I'm sure Jen will be very pleased when she wakes up, when she finds out that I went live. But that's just the way I roll. I roll to my own drummer, and if I'm feeling it, I'm going to do it. And I don't come off of eBay Live just to get sicked out, to say I ain't getting my stuff done. As it is, I'm already losing the battle with eBay. Now, you can say, look, you can't do anything with eBay if your health isn't there. And you're right. It's something that this is all something that I want to get fixed. It started with my wisdom tooth, something I had to deal with for many years. And I don't know if this is all related or not, just something I'm thinking about. But many years, my wisdom tooth here, I was under the impression that it was really causing me problems, giving me these migraines. And I can remember back in 2018, I'm sitting at the Kentucky Derby in Louisville with a friend, you know, once in a lifetime opportunity. 30 minutes before the main race, here comes this nasty migraine. And it's just things like that, just pops up at the worst time. Popped up at eBay Open during the second day. I had to come home and this is last week, had to to take a quick nap, pop some migraine medicine, and just try to get back. I was feeling great when I woke up, kind of like the way I feel right now. I was feeling bad, took a nap, woke up, feel great, and was able to get back and had a really good rest of my day. And here we are today. It pops up again, but a little different. Last night we were at the casino. Mike Camparelli is going to be leaving here in the next day or so. And, he's like, hey, you want to go to the casino? They came over here for a barbecue, and I was feeling fine. Get to the casino, and my vision just goes nuts on me. I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing, getting a headache, and I'm like, guys, I have to go home, jump in bed, sleep, wake up. Vision's still a little off, but not bad. But I'm like, okay, I have to go pick up my stuff today. Have 3 places I gotta go. So I get in the car, I start going. Halfway through my trip, I start feeling nauseous, and I feel this migraine forming. So I'm like, okay, just power through. Let's get there, get the stuff, come home, and then just relax. So I did that, came home, was really restless, couldn't really sleep. Decided at that point, I came in here to set up the live, and I was telling Jen about it. She came in and said, look, you ain't going live today. And I told her, I said, well, all right, if I don't do live, maybe we'll go tomorrow. So I went with no intentions of doing the live at all this afternoon. I went to lay down, got up, felt better. And I said, you know what? Maybe I can make a video. So I still need to get work done. Maybe I can make a video. Went out of the garage, was making the video, and that turned out okay. I feel good. So I'm like, okay, well, only half an hour late. By the time I'm done with that video being done, let's fire up the live. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Now, I will keep pursuing what's going on with me. I thought it was my tooth causing this. Obviously, that's not the case. Whatever's happening is affecting my left eye. So hopefully it's nothing more than just, I don't know, something with my eye. I don't know. But hopefully it's nothing more than that. I'm feeling good, though. And so we're rolling with this live. So here we are. So this is awesome. This is awesome. We have 63 people. Let me just say that one of the highlights of my eBay Open Week was running into a lot of the viewers of the channel. So we have Curator of Thrift. Seen him in the comments or in the chat a few times. Seen him on maybe Josh's channel. And to sit there and have like a 30-minute conversation with the guy was awesome. It was a really, really great conversation. And then you have James and his wife, I believe Lindsay. They came all the way out from Pennsylvania. He's like, I'm coming out here and I'm going to see Flippin' Ain't Easy. I thought that was awesome. Just an honor for that. And we rented him a few times. And I think I may have helped him with the situation with his business. So that's good. And he came out to him and his wife came out to the meetup on Friday. We had about 20 people that showed up, and that was pretty fun. So awesome. Ran into Sean and her daughter. Apparently Sean, I guess she has a son that's big into the Angels, and that's pretty cool too. And then Lisa Dury, I think I have that right now, because she corrected me down there. She said, that's my name. So it's like, okay. And we had a few others that made it clear that they're viewers of the channel. So that's just awesome to me. We ran into Hustlebee, big time sneaker guy. If you guys don't sell sneakers, but that's the Hustlebee. He's one of the first YouTubers I started watching. He's one of the ones that I watched on YouTube. And when I first went full time, I said, I'm going to do what they're doing, right? And I went to Ross, went to Burlington, went to Marshall's, and found out that it ain't as easy as they made it look to find the right shoes to sell. And I was all proud of myself, but at the end of the day, that wasn't going to work for me. So shout out to Hustlebee, Ken Hustlebee. Man, just so many people that we ran into. It would be sort of unfair to try to name drop, because I know I'm going to miss a few people. But man, that's an awesome event. It's one thing to look at it from home and say, okay, you got the keynote, you got all the different things that they're talking about. It's nowhere near the same at home than it is online. So let's see who we have with us today. And again, drop your reselling questions. I'm only going to be on here for about a half an hour to 45 minutes because I do, you know, it's like if I have a little window of opportunity to get some work done, I want to get it done. I want to get some things done. I have a bunch of returns that I had filed like 2 weeks ago. Well, they're finally coming in, and I got to get those processed as well. So a lot of things still going on, and now that I'm feeling halfway decent, I want to make sure I have time to do it all. Mix Mercantile says, "Hey John, nice to see you, Mick." Brenda Smith says, "Nice to see you're feeling better." And let me just say, while Mick had the first comment, Brenda would have been first. She wanted me to make that clear in her comments when I posted that, hey, I don't think I'm going to go live today. Flip of Good says, "Happy Monday." And Hungry Squash says, "What the hell, LOL, I thought you were resting." Jenna thought the same thing too. Shh, don't tell her. This is like therapy to me. This makes me feel good when I can talk to you guys. This makes me, there's nothing at all that about going live and talking to you guys that is making me feel worse physically. It makes me feel better. It's sort of like, you know, you have a cat or a dog, right? They say it's therapeutic. This is therapeutic, right? So I don't want to compare you guys to a cat or a dog. That wouldn't be fair. But what I'm saying is the community means that much to me, where if I'm not feeling right, I still want to come out here and talk to you guys. I don't know what else I can do to prove to you guys that, you know, this channel to me is more about community than anything else. I'm literally, the channel makes about half of what we made 2 years ago. And it's not big money anyway, but it's not about money for me. It's about community. It's about what I experienced. I can say we, because Jenna was at the get together on Friday. She got to meet some of these folks as well. But it's the chance to meet somebody that has been affected in some way, hopefully positively, on the channel, and has been a part of in some way, shape, or form, whether you're in the chat or whether you're watching after the fact. This community, and just knowing that this channel has some meaning to you and the content in this channel, man, it means so much to me. And that's what keeps me going. So for me, I would have been really bothered if I didn't go live. I would have been really bothered by it, and that's why I'm doing this, because I feel good. So selfishly, this is about me. This is about me feeling better about myself. Buy low, sell chai says, "What's up, Spike?" That means you've been watching the channel. You've seen an episode where that was talked about. Joe Samard says, "Howdy, nice to see you, Joe." And of course, let me go back here. Of course, you watch the channel a lot because you're a member. So thank you for being a member. Record Crate say, hey, I hope you're doing swell. You know, it's being able to do this that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. You know, the only regret today that I have, you know, I almost called up Mike Camparelli and Archie, a biscuit butt, because Mike's going back tomorrow. I almost called him and said, hey, let's meet for dinner somewhere, because you know what? Kudos to Mike Camparelli. I feel bad in the sense that, you know, he comes all this way and he surprised us with, it's paid for. What do you mean it's paid for? The golf, the atomic golf was paid for. It's like we were all supposed to chip in to do this. He's like, no, I got it. And he pulled that stunt at dinner too. It's like, Mike, and I wanted to maybe repay the gesture and take him out to dinner, but I guess maybe I'm gonna have to do that next time he's in town or next time I see him. Buy low, sell chai, here to hit the like button and get my sale. Yes, hit the like button, guys. I don't know how or why it works, but you hit the like button and you're going to get a sale in the next 24 hours. I don't know how or why it works that way. It just is. We put that positive karma out to you guys, and you know, the goal of the game is let's see how much money we can make every week on eBay or whatever platform you're selling on, and hopefully this channel at the very least gives you a little motivation to keep pushing forward, even maybe when you're having a bad week. So Get that sale, guys. Hit the like button. Mix Mercantile says, I was in the middle of taking photos, needed a break. So yeah, I was out there. I guess if you watch the video tomorrow, you'll see this too. I hope tomorrow's video comes out good, because it's really 100% reliant on if you guys can even hear the audio from eBay Open, from these workshops I was in. And you know, it's not earth-shattering, nothing earth-shattering in this content at all, but at least maybe something that'll make you think about how other resellers think about reselling, and some of the nuggets or morsels of information that they're maybe inputting into the dialogue. So hopefully tomorrow that will come out. If not, then I guess we're going to have to talk about it in another way. But Fast Eddie says, I'm glad I caught a live, hoping this doesn't get overrun with those resellers shilling their AI software. No, we're not talking about AI, guys. I look, if AI impacted my business more, then I probably would talk about it more. But I'm still utilizing the same tactics as 6 months ago with AI. Building item descriptions, sometimes titles. On my second account, I don't need it so much on my main account, because I have access to all the Amazon information as it is. So really, my main account, which is the account that is our bread and butter, is AI-less for the most part. Did you count how many times the word AI was said? Yeah, I don't know. Which video were you talking about? Because over the weekend we had the Profit Playbook podcast. We did it on location, which I thought was really cool. But really, that episode, it might have been brought up a couple times. I'm sure Josh would have brought it up. But we were talking about the various changes that were announced at eBay Open and our thoughts on it. So, of course, I would say go back and check out that episode on the Profit Playbook podcast. Probably one of our better episodes, that's for sure. Question, Josamar, it says, how much food did you eat? Wow. Now, you talk about eBay Open, because we ate a lot of food last night here. I made, for Mike and Archie, I made 2 racks of ribs, and it must have been like 40 or 50 wings, that some Cajun wings that I made. And I think Mike, well, you asked about what I ate, but Mike probably went back for like 3 helpings, but no one tell him. But that was pretty cool. I'm glad he enjoyed it, because I told him, eat, eat, eat. This is what I made it for. But as far as eBay Open, you had, the first day was sort of an abbreviated half day, because we started at noon, registration, and then the keynote wasn't until like 3 o'clock, and then you got to explore a little bit and come back tomorrow. So we came back on Tuesday, start off with a little breakfast. I think it was like, they had some hard-boiled eggs, they had some some fried croissant sandwiches, like ham and cheese croissant sandwiches. They had like a spinach quiche. They had like different danishes and coffee and orange juice and all that stuff. At lunch, they had, what the hell they had for lunch that day? They had, I forgot what the heck lunch was. The next day, breakfast was little breakfast burritos. And then for lunch, on the second day, on the last day, it was like lasagna, like a vegetarian lasagna. They had chicken cacciatore, some meatballs. They had like all the Italian desserts you could ever ask for. I didn't stuff my face. I just ate enough. I mean, it was not a big presentation, but the food was good. It was a lot of the snacks that you encounter. So when between breakfast and lunch, they pushed out some like snacks and things that you can grab. After lunch, they pushed out like desserts and trail mix bar and like a Haagen-Dazs ice cream little station where you can pick one of the 5 different kinds of Haagen-Dazs ice creams. They had, the last day, they had the different popcorns, like gourmet popcorns that you can take like a to-go container, and cupcakes. So they made sure that, and they even came around with like some kind of vegan tacos later on that night, like walking around, like going up to people. I mean, they were feeding people like it's, you didn't need to go and find a place to eat. That's for sure, because they were feeding people like crazy. I can't imagine the bill that they paid on that for all that food. Big Dre says, "Hey John, just picking and packing 2 niche store sales and 2 primary store sales for a total of $260 plus shipping. That's outstanding." Did any of you guys check out the posts that I put out over the weekend? So we did yard selling on Saturday. This was fun. We had myself, we had Biscuit Butt Archie, we had Mike Camparelli, we had, hear this, Resell Rabbit, John Resell Rabbit, and of course Hustle Man, Jonathan. He's awesome. He's not far from us, about 5 hours away in Phoenix. And so we were all going to the same yard sales. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be fruitful because, you know, kind of the idea you go to yard sales is you don't want other people with as good, if not better eyes than you to find the stuff, right? But, you know, for me, it's like yard sales are plan C. I don't really put a whole lot of value in yard sales because most of my stuff is liquidation anyway. So they tell me meet at this location at 7 a.m. and I get there before the crowd gets there. I mean, they're running 15 minutes late. They're all riding together. So I get out and this yard sale is advertised as costume jewelry. So I'm like, okay, there's certainly nothing here for me because I don't sell that kind of stuff. So I get out the car, I start looking around. The guy has, you know, costume jewelry. He has some other things like a couple empty Chanel shoe boxes. He has a Chanel scarf. He has like older Christmas ornaments. But I kept looking at this Chanel scarf and I'm like, I don't know nothing about it. So I started looking at it. He was talking, the guy doing the yard sale looked like kind of a well-to-do kind of person. And he was talking to someone else that was looking at his jewelry. And then I asked him, I said, how much for the scarf? $40. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of rich. So I kind of put it down and I start looking at it some more. I start looking at my phone, start looking at AI. And I didn't really get it. It was something about that piece. And it looked vintage. It was vintage. I didn't know it quite at the time. But there's something about that piece. And I said, would you take 30 for it? And he's like, no, I got to have 40. So I put it back down. So the guys come, they're walking around, looking around. And I still keep thinking about that piece. And when I left, and I looked it up on Grok. I took a real quick photo of it. It's like a 35 by 35 inch square scarf from Chanel. And it says that that thing is like 20 to 30 years old. It's vintage. So I'm like, okay, it's based on the style and all that. So I said, I went to my car. We're about to leave. I said, hold on, guys. I went back and I said to the lady, I said, you sure you won't take 30 for it? And she went back and asked him, and Resell Rabbit's like, just offer 35, right? So I said, look, 35. She's like, okay, I'll do 35. So I gave her 35. And then I looked a little deeper. I had Grok look at the values. It says that, you know, depending on condition, that thing could be anywhere between $300 and $600 in value. Now, the story the man gave me was that he bought it 5 years ago in San Diego. Well, that ain't vintage, right? And I told Grok this. And Grok said, well, there is a Chanel boutique shop in the mall in San Diego. And that's probably where he bought it. So it was probably a piece that he picked up 5 years ago that was already vintage. So, and he had told me, look, I know this thing's worth a couple $100, but I ain't taking less than 40 for it. So I don't know. I think I did pretty well. I put it up on auction on the second account. I started high. I was talking to Resell Rabbit about it, and it's like, why not start high? You can always redo the auction. But I think I did $3.99 as a starting bid price, $5.99 by it now. It's probably not going to sell. It's a red and black scarf, but we shall see on that. So that was kind of cool. I also did pick up at a yard sale for $3 a Louis Vuitton purse. Guess what? It ain't real. But it was a $3 gamble. And I found out after doing some research. And I look at that as a $3 education on how to pick out a Louis Vuitton purse for the next time. Andy Reno says, wait a minute, I thought you weren't going to be here. I guess that makes two of us. Buy low, sell chai says, were you able to get anything for free besides the free drinks and snacks? So they gave us a swag bag. They gave us a swag bag, and the swag bag had like little cards in it, and you were able to redeem. Like one card had like 6 different or 8 different punch hole places where you can go to the different stations and get the different pins. So I guess that's like quality assurance or whatever. You got, I don't know if that's customer satisfaction or customer service. Just different pins from the different stations, and you go and show the card. There's someone there. They punch your card that you got your pin. Well, Josh wasn't interested in that, so he gave me his card. I was able to do do it twice, and you got one for opening ceremony. You got one for all the different stations, and then you get one for the closing ceremonies. The problem is, I wasn't going to the closing ceremonies at Tao. It's at some nightclub that night. So Josh was like, I'd like to go to that nightclub and bring my wife. And I said, well, here, wear my badge. She could be John for the night. And while you're at it, take these 2 cards. All I ask is you get me those 2 pins. So he went with his wife. They had a great time. They got the 2 pins. Of course, he's now in Ontario, Canada. He's going to mail them to me. The thing is, I'm sending a set. So I have 2 complete sets. So this is the pin you get when you first show up, Open 25. I am going to send one set to Primo and Spam because I think that they would really appreciate that, more so than I would. And then at some point, we're going to raffle off on one of the future lives. We're going to raffle off a set. Just, if you're interested in the eBay Open pin set, then we'll raffle that off. Maybe do like a little package. I have they're giving away little bags. So this is an actual full-size bag. It just folded up. It is a bag from the refurbished program. So they had a station for the refurbished program. So it's actually folded up. I don't want to unfold it. It's a nice little bag though. It's a full-size bag. We have a couple of those. So I want to do some giveaways and stuff to the folks. But they gave away a card that you can go in and get a customized shirt made, whatever size. They had 3 people there making the shirts right there on the floor. They're black shirts. You can get either a red design on the back, a blue design on the back, yellow or green. They're all different things. I got one that says eBay in red. Also got one for Jenna because Josh didn't want his card, so I just said, okay, I'll get Jenna a shirt. They gave a $30 coupon for their merch store, and so some of the shirts are like $15-16. So I picked up 2. Really, I think I picked up 2 shirts, one for Jenna, one for myself. And then I also picked up an eBay tumbler I thought was kind of cool, a really nice looking one. And I think I spent like $10 because I needed a notebook. I thought I needed a notebook. I thought that these workshops were going to be like something you could keep notes, but I didn't do that. So I ended up getting a notebook. I'll probably end up raffling that notebook off. Maybe do like a package with the pins, the bag, the eBay notebook, that kind of thing, and just raffle it off and ship it out to a lucky winner here on one of these lives coming up. Not today, because I want to make sure I have all the stuff so I can show it to you guys. Andy Reno says, sneaking one in. Yes, I'm sneaking one in. Don't tell Jenna. Army Squad, did they say anything about their customer service for sellers? Well, I could tell you they came to the realization that they did a poll, and this is going to be on the video I put out tomorrow, but at least I'll share this with you. They did a poll. Where do you go for information when you're looking for eBay information? And one of the options was eBay customer service, and only 18% of the people that were there selected that as their go-to place for customer service. And they said, well, that tells us something, that maybe our customer service isn't the hottest. They really didn't say a whole lot about their customer service, at least at any point. I did get a chance. They had a seller clinic. You had to make an appointment. You got to meet with an account rep, right? These account reps, not many sellers get a chance to work with an account rep. So I had on the last day an appointment with an account rep, and it turned into all my frustrations with eBay and their customer service, being my background from the call center perspective. And she had a background in the call center, and she's like, you're the first person that's ever really said this to me, all these things. So it turned in, I used my half an hour to kind of get that message across, that you guys really need to do better when it comes to that. And the experience for sellers shouldn't just be 3 days in August. It should be every day. There should be no, whether I'm talking to you right now or talking to the person in the Philippines, at that moment we are talking to eBay, right? That is the, I don't care what your name is, and sometimes these people in the Philippines, they're Bob, and you know their name's not Bob. I don't care about all that. They are eBay at that moment. So when you're dealing with a problem, you're calling eBay and you get someone on the phone, I am dealing with eBay. And that lack of care when you call is eBay's lack of care. Not that person's lack of care. It's eBay's lack of training and lack of care for that being an outlet for information. So I was telling her, look, you guys are great. These people, there are 300 eBay employees on that floor. It's a big ballroom, like 2 or 3 ballrooms put together. And you walk up to an area and they come up to you, hey, is there something I can help you with? Can I answer a question? They were so proactive, right? I said, it cannot be like this 3 days, right? And then your job is done and it goes back to the way it was. You have to have the same customer focus when we call on these phones for help. So I think, that got through pretty well. Now, my only hope was, since the eBay Open ended on Thursday, that Friday they had a brainstorming session and said, hey, what did you hear? What can be better? What did they like? And hopefully these executives take that back and make the key changes. Mike G says, do you know what the criteria is to get a dedicated eBay rep? Have a ship label issue with my second account and these call center reps suck. You're right. I believe you have to have at least 500,000 in sales. It may even be $1 million in sales to get a dedicated rep. And I believe they call those folks top sellers. Now, that's new lingo to me. When we first showed up there to register at noon, they allowed people to come in earlier than noon, between 11 and 12. If you're a top seller, at least that's what the sign said, you can register early. I'm like, well, I'm top rated. Can I get in? And they're like, one lady said, one of the guards said, well, if you don't know what that means, that ain't you. And I'm like, wow. Well, obviously, that ain't the way I wanted to start my eBay Open, but okay, fine. I'll just wait. It turns out Mike got in and he found out that it is for those who make $1 million or more. So you get a little bit better treatment. Sales rep, early access, different perks that they don't talk about. So I believe you have to really ramp up your sales to get that as an option. Big Dre says, any answers on banning new accounts without explanation or recourse, including banning purchases on eBay, like amateur hardware repair channel explained? Well, I haven't watched that video. I don't know too much about it. Here's the thing. The first question that I asked when I got over to the eBay, I forgot exactly the name of that area, but it's where all the eBay reps were kind of mingling and waiting for people to approach. I had said, look, I need to talk to somebody regarding this idea that you have an account that has good standing, 20 plus years. We have tenure, and all of a sudden you sell an expensive item, and now your account is flagged as untrustworthy. And the reason why I say that is because eBay is now making that account wait 72 hours beyond delivery to get paid. And not only for that transaction, they have flagged you for it to be permanent. I said, that can't be. So who can I talk to? So they got me in touch with their expert, who allowed me to take a picture of his badge and said, hey, contact me by LinkedIn, or he said, the person that you're talking on behalf of, go ahead and have them reach out to me on LinkedIn, of all places. And I said, okay, I will do that. And it was Primo and Spam situation. I don't know if they've got it resolved, but I do know they got a phone call on Sunday, and I'm hopeful they got that thing addressed so that future transactions, they don't have to go through that hassle. So I did watch your live today. I was really struggling, and I didn't get a chance to watch their entire live. I tried to be involved in the chat, but I just couldn't do it. So hopefully that answers your question, but it's not anything that's coming down the pike for all sellers. Now, with that said, I will be reaching out to this person who gave me their information, because Duncan did put that show a post on the Discord at least in Australia, that they're going to be rolling this out to where it says certain accounts, not all, certain accounts are going to have that hold on their funds beyond 72 hours. So I need to reach out just to get a clarification as to, okay, why is this and who's this affecting? And maybe it's only affecting Australia and UK, I don't know. But Henri Squaw says, drink more water. Yes, I got my water right here. Love it. We got Keith. Says, John, you are meant to be resting. What are you doing? It's so good to see you and all, but you got to look after your health. I feel good right now. I feel good. If I didn't feel good, I wouldn't be doing it. I'm sure Jenna will understand. But thank you for looking after me. Thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. But you know what? I enjoy sitting here talking to you guys. I really do. I would much rather be here talking to you than in the hot garage. So, for what that's worth. But yeah, Byron Low Sell Chai says, question in your personal and professional opinion. I mean, I can give you my personal opinion, but of people, is J-Ride Flips a complete J-off, or he's just a little socially awkward since he's from Utah and is younger? I gotta say, I really don't want to say a whole lot. I have had a chance to, this was like about a year and a half ago. He came out here to visit. We all went out to dinner. We went to Outback, Archie, myself, Sonny, and J-Ride. And we had a good time. We had a good time at dinner. We had good conversation. And I always use that as a time to pick their brain on certain things, because, you know, he's very successful with social media. He's done well with his channel, and you know, you take the time to pick their brains and stuff, and you watch what they're doing. So like when Resell Rabbit, I asked him 1,000 questions. He was so great about answering some questions. I'm going to put out a little video here, maybe a short, where he kind of walked me through an item that I ended up purchasing at a thrift store. And John Resell Rabbit, he's outstanding, and I wish he didn't live in Wisconsin, because he's one of those guys that I think that I would love to go to yard sales with and just hang out with. He's a really good dude. But going back to J-Ride, all was good. All was good. You know, went to thrift stores and went to the DI and stuff while he was out here. And then at one point he reached out and said, hey, you know, I'd like to be on your channel, you know, talk about stuff. So I'm like, hey, welcome to be on as a guest. And I really felt like the way that went down, this is like about a year ago, I really felt, and there's other viewers that felt like I was kind of set up in a way to where the discussion went, and it went into trying to prove me wrong on a certain thing, and I kind of felt slighted in that. You just really don't do that on someone's channel. You don't, even on your own channel, you don't do that. You don't agree with me, it's fine, but we don't have to make this into something that it shouldn't be. And I really haven't spoken to him since. I really felt that wasn't the right way to do it. So it's like, you see, and I'm sure he's a great guy to other people. I don't know him well enough to make a judgment, but I know at that moment I wasn't happy with how it went down. I'm probably the most controversial guy. I'll probably be the first guy to speak my mind. But if I go onto a show, I'm asked the question, I'll give an answer, but I won't present it in a way that makes you look like you are just incompetent and totally, it felt like a moment where it was made to make me look foolish in front of my viewers, and I just didn't like it. And then in fact, my rebuttal came back. I think I stood my ground and made a case for what I believed in. And I forgot exactly at this point what the issue was, but and he's popped up on the channel and stuff ever since, and I'll say hi. I'm not gonna hold a grudge or anything like that, but it's made me very cautious. I don't quite, when you're my friend, if you are presenting yourself as my friend in the moment, you don't present yourself that way to me, and it just kind of hit me off guard. I didn't really expect that kind of a thing. So it is what it is. But speaking of friends, we do have one here in Josh Galt. We had a great time. We just had a good time. We had fun. And I couldn't imagine if I went without Mike and Josh there, it would have been good experience, guys. It would have been a great experience, but it's just not as fun, when you have people like Josh there to spend the time and having laughter and talking about different subjects. Yeah, just a good time. Jerry Johnson says, glad to see you, praying for answers for you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jerry. Josh Galt says, I saw firsthand John's eyes were bright red. I have these drops. They help the redness, right? But it just is it's masking the problem. So I will wake up, like this last week, every day. I'll wake up, my eyes are just beet red, like just evil red. It's like, oh man. And I know that it's healing something. Today it felt better. Wasn't as bad. I don't feel like this last week I've had to like close my eyes like this. I'm walking around and I'm just literally looking at the computer like this. Last night at playing blackjack, I'm sitting here like this, because my eye was so sensitive to any kind of light that I had to shut it. Today I'm fine. I feel good. The vision isn't 100% right, but I feel a lot better. So, Buy Low Sell Chai says getting old ain't easy. It isn't. And getting behind in the chat ain't easy. I still behind in the chat. No, there's no amount. We have 228 people here, at least watching. That's outstanding. Or 228 views. 110 people I think are watching. So that is awesome for no notice at all. Everyone thinking I wasn't going to do a live. But yeah, I'm old. I'm 51 years old and I'm breaking down, guys. I need to find a different path at some point in my business. Whether that is how do you get to smaller items, or how do you do what some of these others are doing. Many people who have a small warehouse or a good sized warehouse that have someone working for them, and you're working but you can take a day off. It's getting to that point. Maybe that is now in the cards at some point, because I can't imagine myself lifting 40, 50 pound items in 10 years from now. I just, I guess I could, but it's, if I'm breaking down now, what am I going to be doing in 10 years? Christopher Nutter says, hi, nice to see you, Chris. Sandy Ready Steady Sales says, okay, not to scare you, but it is time to see a doctor about blood flow in your brain. You have no time for an aneurysm. You're right on that. No time for an aneurysm. That's when it happens, it happens. But now, I will joke, even though I've taken what you said, and I agree. Jenna's going to call tomorrow anyway and see. This is our HMO. You got to go through a doctor who isn't no longer with the insurance, no longer taking the insurance, or then they say that they are, and then you get an appointment just so you can go to a specialist. And by the time it's all said and done, 2 months have passed. And then there you go. If you have something like an aneurysm, it's too late anyway, because the system isn't designed to see you in a timely manner. But she's going to make a call, and let's see how that works. But I appreciate your concern. I really do. But I guess the joking side, I was going to joke with you in that I've had many people tell me it's time to see a doctor about the flow to my brain. Because some of the comments I make sometimes. Flip It Good says, I like the impromptu interview with you and the husband-wife sellers on Mike's channel live at the restaurant. It was hard to hear. They could be great to interview at the PPP channel. You're right. And hopefully, James, Lindsay, reach out to me. Want to talk to you guys again. Maybe have you guys on the channel. I'm talking to Vicky and Katie. Want to get them on the channel. They local here, and I haven't had them on, so they have a lot. Just the little interview we did also when they came by, because I was holding down the fort for Mike so he could mingle with some of the others there at the meetup, and let him eat his food, because the laptop for that live was on the other side of the restaurant. It's a really dark, almost kind of a shady restaurant. It just kind of felt shady, and I didn't want to leave his laptop while we're all eating and someone take it out the back door. James says, I'm just here to be compared to a dog. Wow, my lucky day. Sorry, James. I'm never good with analogies. I'm always bad with analogies, and sometimes I make bad comparisons too. Henri Squaw says, "Don't get me wrong. I am glad you're live. I really, really like your lives and the community." No, no, I know that. I know that. I know that. This is good for me. I need this. I need this. These lives. I gotta tell you, when I started doing the lives, I did not like them. I was very nervous. I was very robotic. It was very frightening because, you know, the first year or so doing my channel, I could just hide behind, my editing. I just go and edit the video. If I didn't like the way I said that. I didn't like the way it came off. This might offend somebody or whatever, and I would just edit it out, right, and just launch the video. When you're live, there's no way to do that. So it's like, well, you can't truly be yourself because you might come off the wrong way. Then here comes Jenna, sits with me in my lives, kind of makes me feel more at ease. And I like to think now, as a result, I'm a little bit more myself than I was when I first started these lives. And as a result, because I can be myself, the people that can't stand me don't watch the videos or the lives. That's fine. But the people that actually kind of can tolerate me are here, right? So that's why I like it so much. It's not, and I don't know, James Helferstay. I don't know. He doesn't do a lot of lives, but I think he probably knows where I'm coming from. Sometimes you get people that, they'll watch your video and all they get out of it is just something negative, and it's like, does it have to be that way? If you don't like me, just move on. But it is part of the it's part of the doing the lives and doing the channel. It's dealing with that. Because you realize not everyone's going to accept you for who you are, and you just got to learn to deal with it. But I'm thankful that you're here watching us and watching me, and you could be doing 1,000 different things, but here you guys are, so I appreciate that. Chad Harding says, a marketplace is not a community. It's not a community. So like eBay is not a place where you can go hang out, right? It's not a place to meet people. But when you go to these events, it's a place to meet like-minded people. There's a number of people that I handed out the sticker to, and they wanted to know more about the channel. They're like, I never heard of you before. Some people said, yeah, I've seen you before. And you know what? It's trying to build a community. It's part of the reason why we did it. But I can say that there's at least a few people that I could see myself, really staying in touch with after the fact. And so it's eBay Open was a place to learn and a place to network. And I think it went a long way. There's Lisa Dury. I'm sure I got your name right. Let me know if I didn't, because I believe that's what it is. Henri Squaw says, I need a sale. Had one everywhere except on my main eBay account. And my listing, look, I listed over the weekend. I listed that Chanel scarf. I listed, I got these racks. So we were at Savers, and Resell Rabbit was like, someone's got to buy these racks, because the comps on these, there's another set just like it that sold. These are like these restaurant quality racks that have the removable inserts, the shelving, and it was just the shelves, not the support. And these shelves, the replacement shelves, turns out they sell on Amazon for the size that I ended up buying it, but for the size that they were like $309 a piece, and there's 2 in the pack. And they only wanted $15.99 at Savers. And he's like, if someone doesn't buy these, because he's like, I have to fly back home. I'd buy them if I was local, but someone needs to buy these. So I guess it was brought to my attention, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pick them up. And I listed them for $279 for the 2. It's just open box, had the new hardware and stuff. Got those listed. Did a lot of work over the weekend. I'm still getting my items listed. It's just a matter of really right now, because my sales are I'm getting more sales than items listed, and I think a lot of that is because of the distractions, the eBay Open, having people over, going different places, and I probably cut my listing in about half because of all that this week. James says, did someone say AI? You mean the only one that matters, and that is something called, I can't talk about it, but there it is on the screen. Beard King says, he is here with his presence, with his crown. Andy Reno says, that's awesome, you made it. I was looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm glad you were, and we're here. And Lisa Dury says, food everywhere at eBay Open. Wasn't that awesome? Andy says, as a side note, with the speakers at eBay Open, AI was said every 23 seconds. It was said a lot. I mean, eBay is an AI-based company. From their internal processes to their external processes, it is AI-driven. And all you got to do is go to innovations.ebay.com, I believe, and you can read all about it. They go into a lot deeper about their AI usage, but it is a tech company. Don't get me wrong. The problem with eBay's AI is it's all internal, so they don't reach out to like ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok as the main tool to source their information. It's all sourced in house, and if the information is outside of eBay, it's never going to be considered within eBay's AI. That's the biggest problem with it, as far as I'm concerned. But Duncan's is super busy hearing of payment holds in USA sellers who haven't had holds before have sent untracked payment after 30 days, otherwise 3 days after delivery confirmed by eBay, rolling out to multiple sellers. Yes, I am going to reach out again because I know, and look, if you have an issue with this, if you have this particular issue and it's affecting your account, I might be able to put you in touch with the right person. Beard King says, wow, that's awesome for a scarf. I'd like to think. Maybe I'll do a video and show it to you guys. I mean, it's just black and red. I mean, like, I don't know, it looks more masculine than feminine. I don't know of too many men that wear scarves, but it definitely is vintage, that's for sure. Obviously, let us know what it sells for, please. Yes, I will, if it sells. So we're going to work it to sell that high. We're just going to keep bringing it down until we find the market for it, because there are no sold comps at all for that particular. I mean, even maybe the same pattern, a different colorway. There's just no similar pattern for it. Let's see. In it to flip, I saw your post on the scarf, and I did a quick Google Lens search. YouTube video came up in the top results that was specific to how to tell if Chanel scarves are real or fake. Love to know more about what video that is. I did some research through AI, and if they are they're like hand rolled on the edges and then kind of looped around, that's a good sign. And that's the way this one was. There's hand rolled and kind of the stitching is kind of looped around, if that makes sense. Todd says, howdy, nice to see you, Todd. And Keith, again, thank you so much for being here. Thought there was no live, but you thought, so that's why you have to have your notifications on in this channel. Something may happen. I'll say, guys, we're not going to do it, but there's that chance that I will make it happen, right? So we're making it happen. In it to flip, it says, I was dealing with eBay customer service on Facebook yesterday. They're getting worse. I've been on eBay since '99, and I usually know more about the site than they do. Let's hope that some of this feedback gets to the right people and they can make the... it boils down. I don't care what you're paying anyone. I don't care where you're getting your employees from. It all boils down to two things when it comes to the call center: training, and what are you allowing them to do? So are you allowing them to handle more than just the basics? If the answer is no, that's a problem. And if you're telling them, I got into a discussion with this sales rep. She said, look, everything's on time, based on time. So, if you're in the call center world, there's something called AHT. It's your average handling time. And your average handling time is measured. So if you take too long to handle that phone call, maybe you're trying to be proactive, but you're taking longer than your peers, you're going to be questioned and probably counseled and told, hey, you need to speed up your phone call. And that usually means less customer service. Even to the point where she's like, yeah, like right now, I only have a half an hour with you. So I cannot go beyond that because there's other people waiting. We are graded by how fast we're handling the customer. So it's the unfortunate part about it, but let's hope that at least some of this feedback gets to the right people. Bill Sanders says, Canadian eBay sellers are cooked Now, since the orange cheetah removed the de minimis exception, 90% of my buyers are from the U.S. and they are talking about adding a $200 flat rate fee on every package. Wow, I'm sorry that's happening to you. Yep. This is my therapy right now. I'm telling you, if I was feeling a certain kind of way, if I was feeling bad, I wouldn't be here right now. So, I'm feeling just fine right now. Sort of the same way that on Tuesday I was feeling really bad, and then came home, rested, took some migraine medicine, and I got up and I'm like, wow, I'm feeling really good, and I felt great the rest of the day. Daniel says, in April, my sales increased by 9x, almost at the end of 3 months of getting paid after delivery. Was told it will end this month. Problem is, when tracking for $5,000 items doesn't sync with eBay. Yeah, I think the thing with Primo was that they were selling like, your standard $200-300 max per sale, and then they go to, I think he put a listing for 20,000, and that caught the AI's attention, even though he only sold for like $4,000. Hey guys, what's up? What's with John? You just can't keep this guy down. Jenna rolled her eyes at me earlier when I told her I was going out to the garage. So, JK says, having been to this eBay event and knowing that the tickets cost money, would you say it was worth the money, and will you continue to go every year? Yes, I would continue. Look, it's local here, so I didn't have to worry about lodging. I didn't have to worry about flying. I didn't have to worry about all those expenses. It's going to be more than $295 if you have to fly into any of these events. But let's say they have it in Vegas again, I'm there. They have it somewhere on the West Coast, I'm there. East Coast, I'm going to have to think about it. But it's just to me, even if they never said, look, we're going to be sending you a $300 gift card, which they haven't done, by the way. It's going to take a week or two. $300 eBay gift card to everyone who came. I wouldn't expect that every year. I think this was more of a 30th anniversary thing. We're going to do something really special. I would go into it knowing that they're going to take care of the sellers. It's going to be a nice, well put on event. They're going to have a swag bag, but they may not do the same thing again. So if you're going into it not expecting that, then I would still do it. Lisa says, do you go to the session that did you go to the session that talked about eBay Live? That session said you needed to get experience on another platform before you could sell on eBay Live. I mean, what kind of rubbed me the wrong way? I didn't go to that, but I do know a couple that were talking about it. And that's what they want. Look, eventually I think they're probably going to roll it out across the board. But if you think about it, go on to Whatnot and watch some of these smaller Whatnot sellers. I watched a Whatnot seller get on there. She's selling clothes. There's nothing wrong with that. She's selling clothes. She has all the clothes behind her. And she's like, after like 3, she's like, I got to sit down. She's like, I got to sit down. Mom, will you come and take over for me? And Mom's like, I don't want to do that. So she had a little semi-argument, and she, begrudgingly continues and pulls some kind of thing off the rack that looked like hell. And it's like, there's no professionalism at all in this. And that's not what eBay wants. eBay wants people that have some camera presence, because the more polished the presentation, the more people are going to want to be there, and the more entertaining you make it. Excuse me, my nose is itching. The more entertaining you make it, the better it is for the brand. So eBay is trying to eliminate the bad. I don't want to call them bad sellers. The inexperienced sellers who don't have the camera presence. Now, why in the world do they have this barrier of entry for eBay Live? Why is it such a protected entity, yet they'll let any yahoo get on eBay and sell their goods? Are they that hard up for sellers where there's no barrier of entry? It's been that way forever, but I do believe there should be in every selling platform where you have to at least spend 30 minutes to get onboarded and find how do you ship properly. This is what we expect of you. This is how you treat customers. This is what you need to do on your everyday business. And they do it for their eBay Live, but they're not doing it for their regular site. This doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I think that they want you to have 1,000 subs or something similar to that in whatever, whether it's TikTok or Instagram to to qualify. So some people are very close, but they just tell you, keep going and then hit us up when you hit these criteria. Daniel says, my sales are 300,000 to 400,000 and I have an account rep to teach me 30 different points. So maybe it's a lower amount. I also can call eBay anytime and get pretty good service. Wonder what 1 million customer service would be like. Probably a lot better. You definitely get to register earlier. You get a few more perks than the rest of us get. That's for sure. Are you friends with Grams and Pops Vintage? Corey was on the show on Profit Playbook podcast. He's always watching, and I'd like to say I'm his friend, but we haven't spoken on that friend of a level. Like, hey, like texting me or calling me, that kind of thing. I think that's the difference. But Corey says, I don't know. We got a pretty small circle. LOL. Yeah, I think you have, as creators, you have the huge circle, right, of other creators that are in there that you've maybe been on a live with, you maybe spoken to in other chats, but you haven't gotten into that inner circle that's a really smaller circle. Most certainly, if Corey was to say, hey, John, hit me up, here's my information, I certainly would hit him up. I'd take him up on it. I have people who have hit me up, like Commonwealth Picker, Kevin, he texts me every once in a while. Pete says hello every once in a while. He'll send me a text. I'll send him a text, right? Other resellers that I would like to consider that are in my inner circle that I can reach out anytime. Don't have to catch them on a live or anything like that. But it's got to be mutual, right? If it doesn't matter what I want, if the other person's like, yeah, I can do without that guy being in my DMs, then it won't happen. So I'm all about community. I'm like to think that anyone can try to reach out, and you guys can find me. The easiest way to find me is by email. I'll be glad to respond. The Crazies Live is with us. Nice to see you. We got Kevin Hawthorne. Awesome to see you, Kevin. And speaking of Pete, there's the goat right there himself. Nice to see you, buddy. Hopefully everything's working out for you. Let's see. Precious M says hello from Bermuda. Precious M, nice to see you. Keith says you're still younger than me, John. And it doesn't get any easier. Well, we're going to figure this thing out. That's for sure. Tommy Z says Pete's in the house. Yes. Duncan says small items. John is going to start selling ephemera and be my competition. Yeah, but you sell a lot of your stuff over there in Australia. I don't really sell a whole lot out internationally. Keith says James Lindsay was great. Also, Katie and Vicky was great. Yes, they were. Christopher Nutter said the other guy you were talking to at the meetup had a where else was a cool guy, or warehouse, I think you meant to say. That is, I believe you're talking about Resell Rabbit. Resell Rabbit is a pretty big channel, 200,000+ viewers. He has employees. He has a warehouse over in Wisconsin. He lives in Titletown in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So he's technically part owner of the Green Bay Packers because that is a community-owned football team. Corey says, I hear you on the lives, John. I know it's only a matter of time before I open my mouth and my demise comes out. LOL. Then an Out Collectible says, I'm 51 too, and in the last couple years I've had a few life-changing ailments, and it's just an extra burden, and things change, and you need to adjust to it. You're right. My vision is still kind of wonky on my left eye, but I can wear my contact. It's great, but it irritates it. So I guess I'm gonna have to go to glasses here. I have glasses. I just don't like wearing them. Hell, I don't know where they're at, to be honest with you. Duncan says, we all like you, John. Don't worry about the others. It's all right. I know you guys do. Keith says, I've been on a 2-week roll with sales. It's been a good run. I'm sure that lighthouse will shift soon. Got to roll with it while you can. Yeah. Sales are still decent. They're kind of falling off a little bit because, again, I'm not listing as much due to this last week. Gutted says, looks like the ground advantage boxes are real. Had one come through my post office today. That's awesome. I was the first one to say, hey, eBay's going to, not eBay, but USPS is going to come out with ground advantage boxes, and it was going to be sometime last fall. and it never happened. And I'm like, well, higher up at USPS had a phone call with me, said it was going to happen. So the fact that and they actually did commercials with it. So the fact that you are seeing them is really cool. I can't wait. It's time to get your supplies. Did you check to see if there's any USPS Ground Advantage boxes on their site? That's maybe something I need to check out. Keith says, yes, I think they did. Maybe because they didn't want visits with complaints. So we'll get through here. Sutter's Mill says, has AI solved the glitch with buyers selecting local pickup and expecting shipment? I haven't heard of that one. Let's hope that's not a thing, right? Because that would suck. Get a negative feedback all because of AI. Now, they did ask, what if you use eBay's AI and something goes wrong? Something goes wrong, and are you going to be held responsible for bad information by AI? And the answer was pretty much no. Well, eBay's not responsible. It's you, the seller. So use these AI options at your own risk. So if you're using like eBay's item description, proofread it. Even if you're using one of these third-party tools, proofread it. Okay? Look, I got to tell you, I'm simply having a conversation with AI, about, hey, how do you do this or how do you do that? And it'll like make stuff up. So I don't want that in my listings. So make sure that's not happening in your listings. Todd says, cha-ching, $175 sale, bam. Well, thank you. I appreciate for that commission. Anybody else get sales? Just throw me your 2% commission or your 1% commission in the super chat. No, I'm just joking. But no, that's awesome that you did get a sale, and we'll give you your Rhonda. That's awesome. Todd is hand rolled on the edges. Yes, that means you're at least 20 to 30 years old. Keith says, John, you might feel okay now, but after the live, you're probably going to feel whacked. No, after the live, I've got to get all that stuff I inspected in the garage when I made the video. Now it's time to get that stuff photoed. That's the next step. Keith says, I'm going to eBay Open 25 in UK in October. That's awesome. So hopefully you share some of your experience with us on that. That'll be fun. In it to flip it, that YouTube video channel is called Chanel Scarf, Real or Fake. Quick side-by-side comparison. Okay, so I'm going to write that down because I want to check it out. It's called Chanel Scarf, Real or Fake. Okay. Or fake. I'll watch it as soon as we're done here because look, the last thing I want to do is have a fake vintage Chanel scarf. I mean, I'd be out $35, but I mean, look, I've lost more than that in the casino out here. Amr Squaw says, OMG goodness, how do I get my hands on those Grand Advantage boxes? I mean, check to see if they're on USPS.com. I'd like to know if they're on there yet. Keith says, as much as we hate to admit it, we need the glasses. I had to give it to and have glasses when I got fed up with bumping into things. Look, I'm out at the yard sales, right, following the guys around. And I have one contact in doing the Monovision thing. It's okay. And then I roll up on a curb. And they're like, what the hell's wrong with John? I'm like, well, I don't want to admit it, but I didn't see that curb there. In it to flip, it says, what? Ground Advantage boxes? I think that just made my day. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, it certainly. I mean, it's going to save you on the cost of supplies, especially if it doesn't cost anything, like the priority mailboxes. So let's hope that's something that, they were talking about it being something they unveiled last fall. Maybe this is something they're going to do this fall, and it's going to make the increase. We talked about October 5th. There's going to be an increase in USPS rates. Maybe it's worth it. I'm not sitting here trying to give USPS a reason to raise the rates, but if you're telling me that they're going to give me a free box for upping my rates by 5%, I'll take that trade-off. Andre Squaw has to use glasses to drive. Well, I think we all, when we get older, our eyesight does tend to deteriorate. But my eye doctor said, look, your particular eyes will tend to get better. I think what the nearsightedness tends to get better, but when you're looking at stuff up close, it tends to deteriorate. You need readers for that. Let's see. Underscore. See that Pitco gets here late, and still gets the #1 crown. I don't know how he does it. I think they take super chats into consideration. Not to say you guys need to do that. I mean, it's not anything that's expected. Certainly, if we never had another super chat on this channel, it wouldn't impact our willingness to be on here. It's just, I think sometimes people do it because they know that I'm going to skip right down to that comment and read it right away. Let's see. So I think we're down to the end of the comments, and that's kind of all I wanted to do. I just wanted to kind of, I think we spent over an hour. Just wanted to see how you guys were and let you guys know I'm alive, and thank you guys for being awesome. We are going to try to do the members only live tomorrow. I know we've been kind of putting it off, so not tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll do it Wednesday when we normally do it at our normal time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And those of you who are members, check out the library of things we have for members only, whether it's the older videos that we have out for like the round table where we go over other stores that we come across, or whether it's just stuff that I've put for members only that I realize casual viewers just don't want to see. Just random things that may or may not have anything a whole lot to do with reselling, but give you more of a peek inside of what we do here, or what I do when I'm gone and stuff. So there'll be more videos like that as well. But I want to thank each and every one of you. Really, look, this was unexpected. I told you guys in the post I wasn't going to go live, but I changed my mind, and you guys were there. You guys were there, and it could have been easily only 20 or 30 people here, but we had well over 100, and that's awesome to me. And that tells me that you guys have hit the notification bell. And with this channel, you really need to, because I could on a dime just go live, and if there's something important, let's say I come across like an update that I'm like, oh my God, everyone needs to know this, I'll go live. And if you want to be, in the loop as to what the heck's going on, and maybe you didn't see that update, then you're going to be notified. So if you haven't, hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a subscriber to the channel, certainly. And hit that like button, guys, on the way out, so you can get your sale. Oops, we got another super... do not read this comment. Well, I won't read the comment, but thank you in it to flip it. I won't highlight your comment just in case you don't want me to. So thank you guys, and thank you to each and every one of you, even to folks who are like the GOAT, like Pete, who have a storefront to run, but yet found time to be here, or the smaller seller that really could be hanging out with family or friends, and you chose to be here. Thank you to each and every one of you guys, and thank you for, and look, you might say, John, you shouldn't have been live, but you know what? You really made my day, and it brings a smile to my face. And I'm not just saying that, guys. I'm risking Jenna being not happy with me being on this live, because it does make me feel better to hang out with you guys. So thank you for being that outlet, and thank you for being here with me. And we will talk to you guys here. Check for the video that I'm going to launch tomorrow. And it'll give you some live footage of what was actually said in some of these workshops. And I think it'll be a two-part thing, two-part video for that. So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully we will see you guys here very soon. And if you guys don't watch my video, we'll see you here on Fridays live. Take care, guys. Shockbacks, returns, and lowball offers too. Zero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it
Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast. Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, will you guide? With flipping ain't easy by yourself. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast. Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast. Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game.